everyone. This thing is super weird. I hope you are all doing super good, super well tonight. Also, everyone did super well, and our class is really great, and I'm really proud of everyone. For my SLE, I studied DIY spaces, or I guess do-it-yourself spaces. And for those of you who don't know what DIY spaces are, they are concert venues, they're art galleries, they're places for people to live. But most importantly, they're a place for people to go and express themselves free of judgment and with support from a community, and it's great. And these communities can be found all over the world. There are some in Denver, California, Texas, Minneapolis, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island probably. They're everywhere, and in Amsterdam, which is super cool. They're everywhere, and they can be found in warehouses, living rooms, basements, the backs of costume shops, and anywhere they can find a spot because they are creative and they will find a way if they really want to do it. These creative spaces are based on more than just putting on a show or more than just showing off their stuff. They are a place for people to come together and create a community within themselves. And it's really exciting for people who are not experienced in creative endeavors. They can come and they can practice and they can experiment with their sound and they can explore themselves. And it's a really good platform for transcendence in creativity. To quote one of my experts, Ryan McArmitage, DIY is more of a vibe or an energy that helps people do what they want to do. Everyone who is invested in the DIY community is incredibly passionate about it. You can see that in the way that they talk about it and the way that they do it every single day and the way that they're committed to it. I have been contacted to people from Denver that are in New York and in Minneapolis, and from those places they have contacted me to people in Denver because it is this web. It is this creative community that stretches as far as you can imagine because they really do care. You can change the slide if you want. It's all good. So these spaces are great. The fundamentals of a DIY space, so they all follow this sort of theme, mainly in like their buildings. And they all can be found in warehouses, like I said, and just like really decrepit and condemned spaces because no one really cares about the art community as it seems. But what's important about these spaces is that they don't follow a similar theme or aesthetic. They're all very personalized, they all follow their own trends, they're all whatever. And for example, I've heard that Denver, like our creative spaces, they follow just this like wide expressive range. There's not one theme that pins it to any one tradition or anything. But in other spaces, like I know that there are some, it's too early for that one. There are some that follow like really strict themes of different experimental exploration. But they are all great, and they're all based on the safe space design. So people come to these spaces and they are expected to be caring towards one another and supportive and compassionate towards one another, and that also enforces it as a community. For example, now you can change it. There is a DIY space in New York known as Baby Castles, and they are a certified nonprofit. They have a website, and there is about a page and a half just of regulations and things that make this a safe space and make it so that people can come there and feel comfortable without being judged or anything. And these regulations include Xing hands for BYOB events and enforcing a no drug policy and policing the door so that way no one of questionable character is allowed in. Denver's most well-known DIY spaces were Rhinoceropolis and Glob. They had been open and running for 11 years. Oh, open, that's a weird way to say that. But they had been running for 11 years, and they had been super successful. A lot of people had known about it. I know a lot of people that have performed there and a lot of people that have attended shows there, and it was great. But on December 2nd, 2016, in Oakland, California, a DIY space known as Ghost Ship burnt down, and it killed 36 people inside. This caused a rippling effect across the United States, the DIY community in the United States, and it was really hard for a lot of people because a lot of people had performed there or they had known people lost in the fire or both. It was really tough, and a lot of cities were really worried about this, so they traveled. Okay. Um, the cities were worried about this because they didn't want people in their city to be injured. So they started doing random fire safety checks. And this was really not the best. On December 5th, 2016, a DIY space in Baltimore, Maryland, known as the Bell Foundry, was shut down. And then on December 8th in Denver, the DIY spaces known as Rhinoceropolis and Glob were shut down, evicting 5 people on one of the coldest nights of the year. This was super tough for a lot of people because it was such a well-known space. It was so important to so many artists and musicians, and it's been really hard to come up from that. And they've been hosting benefit shows at places such as the Mercury Cafe and the Marquee, and people have been raising money and just doing what they can to get ends to meet and to help the people who were affected by the ghost ship fire and people who had been evicted from their homes. Yep, I just totally forgot. And it's really cool to see people come together and work together to raise money like this. There is a well-known DIY space in Santa Fe, New Mexico, known as Meow Wolf, and they have donated $100,000 to DIY spaces across the United States, and $10,000 of which specifically were donated to Rhinoceropolis and Glob. So people are coming together and they're making everything fit. And city officials have begun to start hosting meetings with DIY community leaders to talk about how they can come to a compromise, how they can figure out how these places can host shows while keeping them safe and up to fire code. And this has been really beneficial to places such as New York, and in New York City, the New York City of Cultural Affairs, they did stuff, and it was really important, and it was really cool. However, in Denver, the fire department has been meeting with the community leaders, and the fire department doesn't know exactly what's going on. They're being told what to do by the city officials, but they're just like, there's a lack of communication, so they are unable to answer the DIY community's questions, and it's just a really hard situation for everyone. But what is important is that this has brought everyone together, and it has proven how strong this creative community has grown. It has proven how important the ideals are and how important it is that it's not about the space. It's not about where they are. It's about the stuff that they make, the stuff that they create and cultivate. It's great. And yep, it's really important. And I'm going to end it there. Thank you.